Hello, everyone. Welcome to Line Breakers, show number 10. We've hit double digits. I'm Game Day Greg alongside Benny Buckets. We are here to give you guys a fantastic NFL show for week number 7. We'll preview every game like we normally do, give you our picks for each game, give you our 3 best bets, our 3 player props that we like, and then we'll send you on your way. But we're not going to go over the whole week 6 slate for you this show. We're both with the time constraints here. We're doing a 2 for this week, and we want to make sure we get the content out, but we're not going to be giving as much this week. But we'll make up for it. We'll certainly make up for it. But how are you doing, Benny Buckets? Before we get started,
I am doing well. I am doing well. Another exciting slate in the NFL this week. Some notable teams on the bye. Your Buffalo Bills there after a rather disappointing 4th and short there to end the game against.
Yeah, well, we'll just talk about this real quick. I know we're not gonna go over every game here, but if I'm giving my one storyline of week 6, it's the fact that I'm backing Sean McDermott in that 4th and 1 situation. I would do that 10 times out of 10. If you look at the advanced stats, 82% of the time that's a go. It's NFL has become more analytical, and I like how they can have stats that show that that's a good time to go. That's a good time to go. But yeah, Josh Allen slipped. And I think defenses are starting to pick up when he does a QB sneak, he goes to the left, not to the right. The right was certainly the play there. Deion Dawkins got blown up on that left side, but that's beside the point. Josh just simply slipped. So it was heartbreaking. I laid on the floor for a good half hour after the game. I really couldn't believe what I saw. But that's NFL. That's what we're so invested in this. Not just from a monetary standpoint, but emotionally as well. We want our teams to do well, and it sucks, but hey, that's life, right? So yeah, that's my one big takeaway from week 6.
Yeah, and on that note, since we're going to discuss that, we'll move on to the week 7 games after I don't agree. I would have kicked the field goal. I said that at the
really.
Time. I did.
Okay, so you
now there's two reasons. There's two reasons.
Okay.
First, ask the New York, your beloved New York Yankees about how great analytics has worked.
Different sport.
As well as the Tampa Bay Rays. Ask them how well the analytic, and the Oakland A's and every other team that is only analytics based. Ask them how that's worked.
Yeah, not only analytics based, but yeah.
But that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing a lot of defense of McDermott. As the analytics said you should do it. Well, the analytics also said that Brandon Staley should go on 4th and 3 from his own 20 against the Ravens in the 3rd quarter, down 20 points, and they didn't get it, and the Ravens scored a touchdown. So I think
would have lost anyway, though.
They would have, in all likelihood. They did not deserve to win, but and they were not the better team. And had they made it, it wouldn't have mattered. They still would have lost, but. I agree. But I think when you get caught up and your defense is analytics, I think that's problematic. Now, here's the reason I wouldn't have gone. 2 reasons. One, there is no recourse. If you don't get it there, the game is over. You've lost the game. There is no it's not like you had, not that this is a great safety net for you, but it's not like you had 3 timeouts where if you don't get it, you could stop them on 3 straight running plays and get the ball back with 25 seconds left and launch couple Hail Marys or get back into field goal range. So that's one reason. The second reason, and not that they would have been able to stop 3 running plays anyway. They couldn't stop the Titans running game all night, but for the most part. But the other reason is because I think from a psychological standpoint on the field, if you may recall, the referees had awarded originally the Bills the first down. Then they reversed their call. So originally it was a first down. So you think you have it, and then all of a sudden you don't have it. So from a psychological standpoint, you're going from not even worrying about it to now we got to worry about this and getting a first down. I think that's just dangerous from a kind of a psyche standpoint. So I would have kicked the field goal. I think this was 10, 15, 20 years ago. Every coach in the NFL would kick the field goal. I understand This is the new age, but I'm not a fan of this the Cowboys, it almost cost them in their game against the Patriots. Let's go for it on 4th and 1 from our own 34 in the first possession of the game where there's been no scoring, and basically handed the Patriots, spotted them a 7-0 lead and the ball to start the second half. So I don't like this idea of let's go for it no matter what. If it's 4th and 1, whether it's on our own 5-yard line or the opposing team's 5-yard line like this was, or like this was the 3-yard line, like this particular situation, I'm not a fan of going for it. Just as a whole, just indiscriminately because the analytics say so. So I know McDermott said if they were to have it again, that he'd do the same thing, but I would disagree with him the same way.
Yeah, and I think you got to take into account the game flow too. I don't know if this is a factor in the decision, but I mean the Bills defense could not. They didn't force a stop in this whole second half. They either scored a touchdown or a field goal.
It's true.
I think their thinking behind it was that I'll leave it in the hands of my franchise quarterback instead of a coin flip and have given the ball to Derrick Henry, who was unstoppable.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm looking at it that way, I would give it to Josh Allen 10 times out of 10. But I certainly see what you're saying. There are reasons why to kick that field goal to at least just give yourself a chance at winning the coin. It's crazy how it comes down to a coin flip.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they may change that. They won't change that.
I prefer the college rules personally, where each team gets to possess the ball, and
right.
I wouldn't necessarily start it on the 30-yard line, like your 25-yard line, but start at the 40 or your own 30, and then each team whatever, and then just make them go for 2 on everyone instead of being able to kick the extra point if they make a touchdown. But I don't like the NFL rule either. I much prefer the college rule where both teams get to possess the ball regardless of what happens on the outcome, because I don't think a game should come down to a coin flip. A lot of times it's what happens in the NFL, especially the first team gets the ball, scores a touchdown. It does come down to who's luckier and not really skill from that standpoint. But the other thing I would mention on this is the other big difference in the game, which you didn't talk about. The Bills got into the red zone 5 times and only scored 2 touchdowns. The Titans got into the red zone 3 times and scored 3 touchdowns. So the Bills had more opportunities in the red zone and converted only 2 of their opportunities. The Titans got in there 2 less times and converted on all their opportunities, and therefore there's a difference in the game right there. There's a difference in your 4-point margin, or 3-point margin, excuse me. So give the Titans credit. I thought the Bills overall were actually the better team, but when the game was on the line, the Titans made a play, and got to give them credit for that. So definitely helps to have the best running back in I honestly believe this. I think he's the best running back, definitely since Damian Tomlinson, most dominant running back in the league since Damian Tomlinson. And I think potentially keep this up for another 3-4 years, maybe the best running back in the league since Barry Sanders played. I think Derrick Henry's that good. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Who's going to stop that?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it's easier, if you will, for Derrick Henry because of his size. LT and Barry Sanders are much smaller.
But his speed too. He was 21.05 miles an hour was his top speed on that run. That was the fastest run of the year.
For sure. Yeah, you got to give them the credit. And listen, they won the game, and Bills got to play better defense. They definitely, in the second half, you're right, they didn't have any stops, and they were outplayed. So give Tennessee the credit. But anyway, moving along here, we are going to move on from such sad topics as the Bills. Thankfully, we don't have to discuss a Bills loss this week because they are not playing this week. They're on with the bye week. But excuse me, let me get our lines up this week. So we're going to start off. We are recording this on Wednesday night, so we will have the Thursday night game. This is not this has gotten to be a less desirable Thursday night game because no Baker Mayfield here, folks. No Nick.
What is our record? Let's go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yes. I got into a little false start. A little 5-yard
false start.
Yeah. False start.
Yeah.
That's 5-yard penalty. So the record, I of course, based on my record, want to skip right over this. I'm happy to discuss the college football records, but this one not.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen that video, folks, that's a video posted before this one, show number 9. Go take a look at that. That Benny Buckets is just on a tear in college football. So, anyways,
we try. But anyway, yep, as you said. Anyways, so Greg last week, game day, Greg was had a record of 8-6. in the picks. 25-20 on the year. That would give us, let's see what the win percentage on that is for game day, Greg. That is a 56% win percentage. So very impressive. Very impressive. Indeed.
Good start. Good start.
Good. Yeah, absolutely a good start. 100%. So.
And 8-4 on the best bets, folks. 8-4 on the best bets.
8-4. Yeah. So I'm sorry. 8-4 on the best bets. He was 1-2 last week, but 8-4 overall on the best bets. That is a 66% record. And then let's see here. Oh no, you weren't. You were 2-1 on your best bets last week. I apologize. 2-1. I said 1-2. 2-1. And then on your player props, 1-2, 5-7. 5-7 on the player props. For Benny Buckets here, not a good week. We went 5-9 overall, 19-26, 7 games under 500 here. Not good. Not good at all.
We'll turn it around, though. We'll turn it around. A lot of football left.
Oh, yeah, that's true. 0-3 on our best bets and 3-9 overall. So not a great week.
Ton of time.
And
Folks,
then we
getting it out of the way early.
2-1. We were 2-1 on our player props and 7-5 overall. So we are going to start off here, as I prematurely said, we're going to start off here with the Thursday night football on Amazon Prime. It is a Joe Buck. Troy Aikman, Christina Pink, Aaron Andrews special. The Denver Broncos, we were saying earlier before we got so rudely, or so we were reminded so kindly by game day that we had to go over the records. That
you said rudely, folks. Here, whoa, folks! It's midnight on the East Coast.
It is. It's late. It's late.
We are a little loopy.
It's with the late. It's with the late.
We are loopy, but we do it for you. We love doing what we do, and
we got to
hope
provide
you guys
the content.
enjoy this.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So no Baker Mayfield in this one, folks. Case Keenum will get the start against his former team, the Denver Broncos. No Nick Chubb. No Kareem Hunt. So I don't know who the running back. I think Felton, I believe. Rashad Felton, I believe, will be the running back for the Browns. Thank you. So it's a very interesting game. So start off here. The Broncos are +2, -110. The Browns are -2, -110. The game will be in Cleveland at the First Energy Stadium, right by the lake there. 41.5, -110 to the over and the under. Money line is Denver +110. The Browns -130. And just so you know what we're using today here, we're using the BetMGM app right there.
Yes.
So everyone knows.
Perfect.
And then last thing before we get into the picks, please gamble responsibly. If you only gamble with funds that you can afford to lose. If you have a gambling problem, please contact 1-800-GAMBLER. But Greg, I'll let you start off this week if you want to start off with your Week 7 Thursday night picks, sir.
Yeah, I like the Browns -2 in this game. As you guys know, I am not a believer of the Denver Broncos. I just don't like their coach, Vic Fangio. I don't like really anything about them. The only person I did like was Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler, actually, but they are both out.
Not a fan of Cortland Sutton, huh? Not a fan of Cortland Sutton.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's late. But yeah, no, Browns don't have a running game right now, but I think that's going to help them in this game, honestly. I think Baker's going to have to pass a lot, and I think they could
Baker's not playing. Baker's not playing. It's Case Keenum.
Case Keenum.
Yes, Baker is out. Baker is out. Baker is out with a shoulder injury, sir. So there will be no Baker. So that is why the line is -2.
Folks, this is the first time in line breaker history where we are going to go with a different pick now that we know that the starting quarterback.
I gave you that content before we started.
You give Benny Buckets the credit. Yes, give Benny Buckets the credit.
Not with the listening, but that's okay.
No, we're not really with the here right now, honestly. But I'm going to go under 41.
Okay, there you go.
Under Browns don't have a running game. Baker Mayfield is not playing. He will not have a helmet on his head. Case Keenum will. And I think that's all you really need to know as to why I'm picking the under 41.
It's 41.5, but okay.
41.5.
41.5. You get the
helps
hook.
Me even more. Perfect.
You get the hook. I am also going to go under the 41.5. I was tempted to go with the Browns, even with Case Keenum, but I just think it's more likely that we're going to get the under 41.5. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this game. This game is not a great game without Baker in there and no Browns running game or no top two Browns Brown running backs out. So give me the under 41.5. Next game up, moving over to Sunday. This game will be at Lambeau. Speaking of Lambos, the great Josh Lambeau, no longer employed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes.
Okay.
What a kicking performance by that kicker.
Dustin Hopkins as well also sadly lost his employment today with the Reds.
Jacksonville
Washington
last week with the 53
Mike Wright.
yards.
Mike Wright. Yes, Mike Wright.
Mike Wright.
With the game winner.
Right through the uprights.
53-yarder to win the game. Yes, exactly. I know that you set your alarm for that one. That was the London game, so you were enthralled in that one there.
And the Lunder hit, folks. The London under.
Yes, the Lunder. Yes, I had the Lover.
He was about to say Lover.
I had the Lover, but it didn't go through. But anyway, moving right along here. Washington is plus 9.5, minus 110. Green Bay minus 9.5, minus 110. Total in this game is 49.5, both to the over and the under, minus 110. And the money line is Washington football team plus 360, Green Bay minus 450.
Why don't you take this one first, Benny Buckets? Switch it up a little bit.
Oh, all right. I'm going to go with something a little different here. I am going to go with the over the 49.5. Neither one of these teams is playing particularly good defense. Although the Packers did play a little bit better, but they did play the Bears last week. So a little asterisk. They did give up 14 points, but a little asterisk with the Bears, not a particularly potent offensive team. Washington can move the ball a little bit. They can put up some points. I expect them to do so, but I think Green Bay will probably put up upwards of 30, if not over 30. I do think Washington can put 20 up on the board. So give me the over. Give me the over on this game, over the 49.5 for the Washington football team in Green Bay.
Yeah, I like that pick, but I'm going to go with – you said the line was 9.5, correct?
9.5. 9.5.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to take the Packers minus 9.5 here. I agree that it's going to be high scoring. So I do think that is a great play, but Aaron Rodgers has been doing very well. They beat the Bears by 10, and I think this Bears team is pretty comparable. Redskins team or Redskins? Oh boy, Washington football team.
The football team.
Yes, the football team. But Taylor Heineke is certainly not the guy in the Washington football team organization. This is at Lambeau. This is a 12 p.m. Central Time kickoff. I just think Aaron Rodgers is going to get up for this game, and they're going to solidify themselves as one of the best teams in the NFC. And I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but I do think it'll be a double-digit win for the Green Bay Packers. So give me the Packers minus 9.5.
Okay, great. Next up, we have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Tennessee Titans. Kansas City minus 5.5 on the road. Tennessee plus 5.5 at home. Total is 57.5, both to the over and the under, minus 110. KC is minus 225, Tennessee plus 185 in Nashville. If you'd like to go ahead there, sir.
Yeah, this game is interesting. These two, when you say these two teams, it screams over, but that 57.5 is really high. I think that's the highest one this week, if I'm not mistaken. But
highest one of the season, actually. Highest one of the season.
Highest one of the season.
It is.
So far. Wow. Okay. Great stat. This is tough. I think because Kansas City, I want to take the Chiefs minus 5.5 here, but the thing that's getting me is how bad their defense is and how good Derrick Henry has been.
Yeah.
And then a healthy, if they can get both of their wide receivers healthy, although I don't think Julio Jones will play this week. I think he may have a hamstring injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to take the Chiefs minus 5.5. I don't like this game at all, betting wise. I'm not going to bet it. But see, this is just too hard. Yeah, I'm going to take Chiefs minus 5.5. Patrick Mahomes put up a great week last week. And I just think they will win this game. They'll get back on track. Tennessee's going to have a letdown game. Derrick Henry may rush for 200, 3 touchdowns, it's fine. But I think it's going to be a high scoring game, and the Kansas City Chiefs are just going to put up about a touchdown more. So give me the Chiefs minus 5.5.
All right, Chiefs minus 5.5. I'm going to go with the over in this game. I don't really love it either way, but I don't think either of these defenses, both of these defenses are pretty bad. Both bottom 10 defenses, I think that, and both these offenses are pretty potent. I think it'll be a track meet. I think it's rightfully the highest total of the year for good reason. Not only because you have one great offense and one great running game with a mediocre quarterback, but I think it's more indicative of the fact that both these teams really can't play defense very well. Although Tennessee last week, as we alluded to earlier, did bear down when they had to against the Bills, but I don't think they're going to have the same fate here against the Chiefs. So give me the over on the 57.5. Next up here, I will not be on this game, on that game rather. Next up is the Atlanta Falcons. The rare road favorite for the Atlanta Falcons here, minus 2.5 at the Miami Dolphins, plus 2.5. Total in this game is 47.5. And the Falcons are minus 135, Miami plus 115 from Hard Rock. Sir?
Yeah, talk about from one good game to a who cares game.
I was about to say, it's your patented who cares game here.
Yes, the who cares game. But I like the Falcons here, minus the 2.5 going into Miami. Miami is just in complete disarray. Tua Tagovailoa, I mean, there's rumor that he may get traded for Deshaun Watson sooner rather than later. Who knows? They are just not doing very well. They're banged up a little bit. And I think the Falcons can put up some points on this Miami defense, if we're being honest. Kyle Pitts really came into form last week and the week before, actually. Give Matt Ryan a great weapon on the outside there. So give me the Falcons minus 2.5.
Atlanta. It's 2.5. Yeah, this is a tough one. I don't feel really good on either side of this. I'm just gonna say out of desperation, because I think if they lose this game, I mean they're probably done anyway. But I'm gonna say that the Miami's gonna have one more big effort against the mediocre Atlanta team that is pretty. You don't really know what you're getting from Atlanta week to week. And I think that Miami will play with some desperation this week. It's a game if they want to have any prayer of getting back into this playoff hunt or back into the playoff picture, they've got to win this week. And they were a team that had playoff aspirations last year with the 10-6 year, and had playoff aspirations last year and this year as well. So I'm going to take Miami getting points at home. Give me Miami plus 2.5, though. Again, not very confident in this pick. Next up, a AFC East battle here. The New York Jets, the Fighting Wilsons going into play the McTabulous Patriots of Mac Jones phenomenon. The Jets are 7-point underdogs, catching 7 on the road in Foxborough. New England minus 7, both minus 110. Total in this game, 42.5, minus 110 on both sides. Jets are plus 250. And the Pats, Pats are minus 300. I'm going to take this one here first because, Mac Wilson.
Mac Wilson, yeah.
Zach Wilson and Mac Jones. It's Mac Wilson and Zach Wilson. That rhymes.
Yes, because you said Wilson twice.
Yeah, we said Wilson. Well, no, Mac and Zach. So that rhymes too. But,
Mac Wilson, Zach Jones. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, I am going to. You guys know that if you've been listening and watching here, I'm a huge fan of Zach Wilson, but I am going to fade them this week. Give me the Pats minus a 7. Even though they didn't win, they did look fairly impressive against Dallas. Even though Dallas gave them pretty much, essentially did everything, but give them the game and sign a notarized letter and deed over to the Pats to win that game. They did everything they possibly could to do so with penalties and red zone turnovers and fumbles at the goal line and giving up 75-yard touchdowns, for no reason, seemingly on a 40-yard pass. But anyway, I digress. Give me New England minus the 7. I just think they're the better team. And I think it's going to be a struggle the rest of the year for the Jets. So give me New England. Pats minus 7 in Foxborough.
Yeah. I agree with you. Give me the Pats minus 7. I was trying to think of any way to go against you, just for a little fun, but it's this game. This is almost a who cares game too, honestly. Even though this could be for second in the AFC East, which that really means nothing in the football landscape. There's only going to be one team to make the playoffs out of the AFC this year. But yeah, I just think the Patriots will be a little too much for the Jets. Mac Jones is progressing nicely. He did keep them in that. He was frankly the better quarterback in that New England game in the Bucks game that they lost by 2 points. They played Dallas and they went to OT, and Dallas is what I think is a juggernaut team in the NFC. So, but then they throw in that 25-22 win against Houston. So who knows, honestly? But I'm going to
powerhouse Houston team. I mean, powerhouse.
Yes, Davis Mills. Yes, Mills Mafia. But anyways, yeah, give me the Pats -7.
Yes. Speaking of the Mills Mafia and the Texans, let me tell you, folks, this Texans team. This is the second coming of the Earl Campbell-led Houston Oilers. Let me just tell you, they are breaking out, folks. Okay, I mean,
yes,
don't sleep on Houston, man. Don't sleep on a team with a 65-year-old head coach as a first-time head coach. Let me tell you, that guy. There's a reason why he got a job at 65. It's because he's on the ball. Let me tell you.
Yes, and let's release Whitney Merciless mid-year.
Yes, another fine move. Yes. Yes, let's release our best linebacker. Anyway, moving right along here, because we'll get to the Texans again here in a bit, because they're so entertaining. We got to talk about them twice. The Carolina Panthers, -3 at the New York Giants in the Meadowlands. Giants +3 at home, -110. Total is 43.5, -110 on both sides, and the money line is Carolina -155, Giants +130.
You know, Ben, I was right on this Panthers team. I was calling frauds in the beginning. That's what they are.
The Sam Darnold. Yes, the Sam Darnold.
Yes. Now, with that being said, it's ugly. We're going to have to scrap this one out. But I like the over. Did you say 43?
43.5, sir. 43.5.
I like the over the 43.5. Now, if I'll be lying to you as to if I knew exactly why I like that. But I'm just looking at the past games here that Carolina's played, and they have hit that over total. This guy. Yeah, no, Giants don't have an offense. They don't have wide receivers that are healthy. I'm changing my pick again. Doing it 2 times in one show, folks.
Jeez.
2 times in one show I'm doing this. Give me the Panthers -3. After I was just telling you how much they're frauds, I don't believe in the Giants at all. Daniel Jones is awful. Nope, I'm reversing it. Look at that. We've had 2 firsts in the show, folks. We did a double reverse and a reverse, and I just did a double reverse. We're going over the 43. Over the 43, that's my final answer. I think
we have some cross out there for the viewers at home because the indecisiveness. Oh, yes.
Yes, that's why we write in pencil.
This is what happens when you spend 8 hours in a car by yourself. Your mind is not working.
Let's play guess where Greg is in the United States. But anyways, game day Greg. But anyways,
so the final answer is before I write anything else, your final answer is over the 43.5.
Over the 43.5. Yes. Sam Darnold could still run the ball. I think the Panthers will be able to move it on this Giants defense. I don't think the Giants offense is very good. However, when I don't think Giants offense is very good, that's when they're going to start putting up points. So give me the over 43.5. That is my thinking, and I'm sticking to it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Yeah, I am going to go a different route here than you, sir. I am going to go the under. We're going to go head-to-head here. I'm going to go the under. The reason I'm going to go with the under here is because you have 2 very poor offenses. Giants defense is actually on paper good defense, but they're pretty banged up, missing Blake Martinez, who's the leading tackler in the NFL last year, and a lot of injuries. But Carolina's been relatively healthy. I don't think either team's going to put up a whole lot of points. So give me the under on this one. I'm going to go head-to-head with you on this one. Next up, Moving along here is the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals plus 6.5 at the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are minus 6.5. Total in this game is 47. And the Bengals are plus 225. Baltimore minus 275.
Yes, this is another division rival matchup this week. I like the Ravens minus 6.5 here. As much as I like the Bengals, and I think they're going to do well, and I still think that the AFC North is potentially possible. Maybe. I told you guys to sprinkle it. It's not looking as great now, but it's still a possibility. But yeah, give me the Ravens minus 6.5. Lamar Jackson out of his mind. He's an MVP candidate. They're at home. It could be high scoring, but yeah, give me Ravens minus 6.5 here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I am going to go with Baltimore also minus 6.5. I was tempted to go on the over here, I think, but I don't know why. I just have a feeling it's going to not happen. So give me Baltimore minus 6.5, especially at home. I'm a little surprised this isn't a 7 point. I think by Sunday it might get to 7 or 7.5. But but I like Baltimore.
And then what they did to the Chargers too. I mean, that's hard to just take out of your head this week. It was pretty dominant. So yeah, I agree with you. I don't know why this isn't higher, but
yeah,
moving right along.
For sure. Okay. Next up is the Philadelphia Eagles going into Allegiant to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are -3, -115. Philly is +3, -105. Total in the game 49, -110 to both sides. And then the Eagles are +135 on the money line. Las Vegas -160. I'm going to take this one. I got some opinions here on this one first.
Sure.
I'm going to take Vegas here. I'm going to take Vegas. I was impressed. I had a little regret last week after I took Denver there. I thought I kind of felt on game day if I had to pick it again, I would have taken Vegas, but we did our picks last week on Wednesday, so we got to stick by them, even though I would have played it a different way on Sunday. But give me Vegas. I was impressed the way they came out. Granted, Denver has been struggling. They've lost 3 straight, just like the Panthers start out 3-0 and now they're 3-3. But I just don't think Philly, other reason, I'm a little surprised there's only 3. This is basically saying on a neutral field that these two teams are equal, and I don't think they are. Philly's defense is terrible. Jalen Hurts is very inconsistent, to say the least, and I just don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to play particularly well against Vegas. So give me the Raiders -3 at home.
Yeah, no, that's quite the epiphany from last week. There are many buckets, but anyways, I'm going to go over the 49 here. That's what you said, right? 49.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go over 49 for some of the same reasons Benny Buckets was referring to. I'm looking up the stats here, and the Eagles have scored more than 21 points in their last 4 games, and the Las Vegas Raiders have a good offense. When all things are clicking, they do have a good offense, and I think this could be a shootout. I think this can get well into the mid-50s. I don't know why. That spread scares me a little bit, because I do agree with Benny Buckets that it should be higher for the Raiders. But we were talking about this in pre-production. These fishy lines, sometimes you just take the other team. They're fishy for a reason. So that's why I'm not touching the spread. But yeah, give me the over the 49.
All right. Next up here, another interesting game. Jared Goff and Matt Stafford facing their respective former teams, longtime former teams, especially in the case of Stafford. The Detroit Lions are going into SoFi to take on the Los Angeles Rams. The Lions, this game opened up as a 13.5 point spread. Now it's up to 15.5. Lions catching 15.5 on the road. LA -15.5 at home. Total 50.5 in the game, -110 to both sides. And then Detroit +650, Rams -1,000 on the money line. Pretty big spread there.
Big spread, but I'm going to take it. I'm taking the Rams -15.5 here. The Rams are the far superior team. You want to root for the Lions. I mean, Dan Campbell's very passionate about his team. You want to see him get a win, but it's certainly not going to happen this week. Matt Stafford, when he's firing on all cylinders, is an MVP caliber player for being honest. I mean, I would have loved to see what Matt Stafford's career was if he was on the Rams this whole entire time, as opposed to the Lions. But we can't change the past. But we will say that Stafford's no-look pass to Cooper Kupp for that touchdown was awesome, Mahomes-esque, but actually the correct Mahomes, not the Mahomes where he looks away and throws an interception. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, give me the Rams minus 15.5. I think they could win this game by 20.
Okay. Yeah, I am going to go with I'm tempted here. I'm actually making a decision here. There's two lines I like here actually quite a bit.
We'll take this time.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, take this time, folks, to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it. And then also another thing, just look for these lines, or if you like something early, go for it. These lines change up until Sunday. We're hemming and hawing what we like now, but I mean, come Sunday, we really may like something or really not like something because the line moved that much. So these lines are not permanent. Please know that when you're listening. They may actually change by the time you get this bet in, when you get a bet in and when you listen. So just keep that in mind when you are placing your bets. If you like something, get in there early. But anyways, go ahead, Ben.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And very good, astute points. Yeah, I'm going to actually, just to be a little bit different, and I feel pretty confident on this one, I'm going to go under the 50.5. Under the 50.5. Rams have last year #1 defense in the league, this year top 10 defense. Detroit, if you look at them last week, notwithstanding, they were able to neutralize a good Minnesota team, only scored, I believe, 21 or 22 points against them. The week before that, they held the Bears to 24. I just don't. Is it possible? Is it likely even that the Rams will blow the Lions out? Yeah, I would say so. But I just think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I don't think you're going to get over 50.5. So give me the under on it, just to be different, because I think probably everyone picking this game probably going to be picking the Rams. Not on this one, but give me the Rams minus 15.5. Next up is a hometown game, so I'm going to lead this one off. I have not been on the side of the hometown team recently, and I have paid for my transgressions on that one. This time, Houston Texans, the Mills Mafia, as Game Day has dubbed it, the Houston Texans, who look like they're going to be trading pretty soon, perhaps, to Deshaun Watson, plus 17 at Arizona, at the Arizona Cardinals in Glendale, State Farm Stadium, minus 17, minus 110 to both the Texans and the Cardinals on either spread. The total in this game, 47.5, minus 110. Houston plus 950 on the money line. Cardinals minus 1,600. Basically, your return's not very good if you bet on the Cardinals on the money line. But I'm going to go with the Cardinals. I made the mistake 2 weeks in a row now. I'm not going to make it a third. Give me the Cardinals minus the 17. Listen, Houston lost by 31 points to a much more pedestrian team, shall we say, in a road spot, in a domed stadium similar to the one out here in Glendale, to the Colts. I think that the Cardinals will easily win this game. Whether Cliff Kingsbury coaches because of COVID, doesn't coach because of COVID, or I don't know, a 10-year-old coaches the team. I still think they're going to win by more than 17 points on Sunday. So give me the Cardinals minus the 17. The Texans. This is more an anti-Texans pick than it is a pro-Cardinals pick. But regardless, give me the Cardinals minus the 17.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one. This is a college football line. I mean, I did a double take when I first saw this because I thought I was looking up college football lines for the show. 17 points is a lot, but like you said, the Cardinals are dominant. But I would like to pose this question: would the Alabama Crim Tide against the Arizona Cardinals, would that line be higher or lower than 17?
I don't know about that. I think Georgia football is in the front runner for top college.
Really?
So
okay.
Georgia Bulldogs might have something to say that between the hedges.
Oh, well, we'll say that for
I actually think it would be lower. I think that the Arizona Crimson Tide is a better team than the Houston Texans. As is Georgia.
Arizona Crimson Tide.
I would love to see if we could get a soccer style thing going here where the worst team in the NFL plays the national champion of college football, and if we can get the winner, if the college football team wins it, then we have a relegation of the NFL team to college. I think that would be with the interest.
That'd be interesting.
Would be interesting. We should look into that. We should get Roger Goodell in on that. I think that would be a lot of palace intrigue regarding that. So we should look into that. But anyway, that is my pick there, and our picks are both on Arizona laying the wood there. Next pick, another double-digit spread. I want to also mention, folks, I saw this today on the Daily Wager. Double-digit spreads this year in the NFL, straight up 8-0, and then against the spread, the favored team laying the wood is 6-2. So just bear that in mind, 6-2 from that standpoint. So
that's quite a stat that you're not going to get anywhere else besides the Daily Wager here.
Daily Wager on ESPN2. The great today was a threesome on the Daily Wager. We had Doug Kazarian, we had Tyler Fulgham, and we had the great Joe Fortenbaugh hosting at the anchor's desk there in Las Vegas. But anyway, moving to our next game, the Chicago Bears plus 12.5, minus 110. Tampa Bay minus 12.5, minus 110. Total for the game 47, minus 110 to both sides. Chicago plus 550. Buccaneers minus 750 on the money line. I'd like to go ahead on that one. Game day.
Yeah, this is a tough one, especially with you putting that set out double-digit spreads or 8-0 on the year. But for some reason, Tampa kind of plays down to their opponent a little bit. They only beat the Eagles by 6. They beat the Patriots by 2. But then again, they won against the Rams by almost 25. But shoot. Cue the Jeopardy music. I thought I could pick this one on the fly. I cannot, as you can see. Give me the Bucs minus 12.5. I'm not going to overthink it.
Okay.
Tom Brady is too good of a quarterback at home against the Bears. Is this the Jim Nantz, Tony Romo? No, because it's NFC, correct? So this would.
I don't know who's. I don't know.
This is on CBS.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's going to be playing. I can look it up here real quick.
This is the 4:25 CBS game, but these are 2 NFC teams. So
they've changed that whole scenario actually this year with the.
So that's confusing.
It is a bit. It is not the same as it used to be.
But yeah, as Ben's looking that up, I like the Bucs minus 12.5 here. The Bucs are the far superior team. I could see Justin Fields putting up some points, but I just see Tom Brady putting up a lot more. So that's why I'm taking the Bucs minus 12.5.
So let's see. So week 6. Oh, that's week 7. Who has the Tampa Bay game? Yes, it is a Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson special. Absolutely. Yes. So that is the game. Not sure why they're in that game. I would think the Kansas City Tennessee game is the game of the week, but they gave that to their number 2 team. I am the Birdman Eagle again. Charles Davis are going to be on that game.
Yes.
But anyway, so
Iron Eagle, very underrated. Very underrated. But yes.
I believe he is. I believe the 2 best play-by-play NFL commentators are on CBS. Iron Eagle and my favorite, also a NBA on TNT special, Kevin Harlan, of course, the great Kevin Harlan. He's running at the 10, and he ducks a blocker, and he's rumbling down the sideline. Touchdown, Kansas City. Sorry, that was like
there it is, folks. There's your impression.
Listen, when you get to the midnight hour here on the East Coast, when we're at the midnight hour on the East Coast, you're going to get a little craziness here, a little improvisation. So
yep.
But
spice it up.
Spice it up. Anyway, let me get to the pick now that we've established who's calling the game. Yep. I'm going to take Tampa Bay as well, minus 12.5. This game reminds me of a very similar spot a couple weeks ago. I believe they were at 11 or 12-point favorite, maybe 13 against Miami. I think Chicago may be a little bit better than Miami. Maybe their defense a little bit better this year, but their offense is just as pedestrian. And I expect Tampa Bay to handle business. The thing about Tampa Bay, when you have a Tom Brady-led team, but we'll say this about him, you don't get a lot of letdowns. You don't get a lot of games that they take off. You don't get a lot of games where you're looking past the opponent. Too professional there. So I don't expect that here either. I think that they will win and win convincingly. So give me Tampa Bay minus 12.5. I just don't think Chicago is going to be able to put up more than 17 to 20 points. I think Tampa Bay will probably put up over 30.
Especially with no run game.
Yeah.
Vita
Herbert had a good word. Yeah, Kevon Herbert, I believe his name, had a good, over 100 yards last week. But it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough sledding, I believe, for Justin Fields. But moving on to the Sunday night game, Sunday night special after a week off, a bye week of sorts, if you will, for Al Michaels. He's back in the booth with Chris Collinsworth and Michelle Tafoya, and Carrie Underwood will be leading them in with the Sunday night. You've been waiting all day for Sunday night, but you've been watching games all day, so you're not really waiting all day for Sunday night. We've said that before, but we like to bring that up because it's interesting. But anyway, I digress. Indianapolis Colts and into again another geography scenario here. We're going to Santa Clara to play the Santa Clara 49ers, but they go by San Francisco, even though San Francisco is about as far away from Santa Clara as Indianapolis is from Phoenix, but be that as it may. It takes about 7 hours in traffic there, folks, to get from Santa Clara to San Francisco. But moving right along here as we get off the geography tangent here. The Colts +4, -105, San Francisco -4, -115. Total in the game 44, -110 to both sides for the total for the over and the under. Indy +165, San Francisco -200 on the money line. Like to go ahead there, game day.
Yeah, thank you for that geography lesson, Benny Buckets. I know the viewers really appreciate that. The Chris Collinsworth slide pre-game into the picture was not as good with Mike Tirico by his side as it was Al Michaels. Just to kind of give you folks a little rendition of what the slide is, if you don't know what we're talking about. It's where Chris Collinsworth kind of comes in like this. Every single game just slides right in.
He's got a moving chair, folks. He's got wheels on the chair. He doesn't actually walk in, just chairs.
Yes. He's got the control pad on the armrests. He just slides right over. But anyways.
Well, this will be the last year of the Chris Collinsworth slide because Drew Brees will be taking over at the end of the year. But next year.
So we gotta appreciate every slide as it. This game, woof, right? Sunday night.
Pretty bad Sunday night game as far as
tell me about it. Who is Trey Lance starting for the Niners?
I don't know. I think Garoppolo's questionable. I think if Garoppolo's healthy, he will play. But.
So that's a big deciding factor in this game, right?
Sure.
All right, he was limited Wednesday's practice.
Garoppolo, I would expect him to play then.
According to Nick Wagner of ESPN.com. But anyways, if Garoppolo plays, I'm going San Francisco -4 against Colts. I was debating that over just because I think it could be a wacky Sunday night game where for some reason both offenses just really show out. But if Garoppolo's playing, I like the 49ers in this game. You guys know I'm not a big Colts fan. I'm not a big Carson Wentz fan at all. I told you guys I'm never going to take them against the spread. So that's why I'm going Niners -4.
Okay, I am going to go the over here, folks. So if you looked at the Indy offense last couple of weeks, they've really been getting to move the ball. They did lose to Baltimore, but a Baltimore team that limited the high-flying coming into the game LA Chargers. The Colts are able to move the ball at will, essentially, on the Baltimore Ravens defense. And lastly, I know it's the Houston Mills Mafia, but they did put up 34 on Houston, 34 points. And I just think that both teams will be able to move the ball in this game. I really like this game. I like the total a lot. Give me the over on the 44. Might be on this one. And then our final game of the week, we're moving right along. These primetime games, not a lot of appeal here, folks. Unfortunately, these primetime games. The New Orleans Saints -4.5, -110 at Seattle, +4.5, -110. Total in this game is 43.5, both to the -110 to the over and the under. And the New Orleans Saints are -225, Seattle +185.
Double woof. This has got to be by far the worst slate of primetime games outside of that Thursday game, the Sunday night and the Monday night.
Well, the Thursday games.
No, I said outside of the Thursday game, the Sunday night and Monday night primetime slates suck.
Well, the Thursday game is Denver and Cleveland without Baker Mayfield.
I'll take Denver and I'll watch Denver and Cleveland.
That's a pretty bad. That's a pretty bad slate too. If you don't.
You're right.
These are probably the three worst primetime games.
Yeah.
Since Thursday night football started in the given week, this is not good.
Folks, I'll be honest with you. This is probably the worst week of. I don't feel as confident this week.
The only good game, the only two good games this week, in my opinion, are Cincinnati and Baltimore, and then Kansas City and Tennessee. Other than that, these games are pretty bad matchups.
Dog wash, yeah.
Dog wash.
Yeah.
Yes, with a dog wash.
Yes, with the dog wash. That's the kind of commentary you're getting tonight, folks. But if you haven't already signed off, applaud to you. But anyways, I'm gonna go. Oh man, because it is a Saints-led team by Jameis Winston. Right, he's still playing. He's still the quarterback.
Jameis Winston is a starter.
Okay. I'm gonna go the over here. The over the 43, even though it's a Geno Smith-led Seattle Seahawks. It's just. I feel like it's going to be one of those wacky games where we could see some yards pile on. And I didn't think that it was going to get to 43 last week with Seattle and Pittsburgh. Granted, it did go to overtime, but I could see this going over. So give me over 43. Don't have a rhyme or reason why. It's late. We're just gonna roll with it. It's usually our best plays. We're going to just roll with it.
Yeah, I disagree, sir. I am going to go under. Give me the under on this game. So give me under the 40. It's 43 and a half, by the way, but give me
43 and a half.
Yeah, under the 40, under 43 and a half. Reason why is I don't think either of these teams are going to score much. New Orleans has played good defense. Seattle's been not so great, but I just don't see a whole lot of points in this game. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't feel confident at all in this one.
With the horn, but I don't know if you can hear that.
The train horn.
It's third down. Yes.
Third down. Yeah, actually, let me think about this one. I might do because Greg pulled it twice today. I might pull a switcheroo. Give me 1 second.
The only reason I'm thinking over, because we want to help each other out here. The only reason I'm really thinking too, I'm kind of looking a little more advanced here. New Orleans past 5 games, they've put up 33, 21, 28, 7, and 38.
You know what? I'm going to change my pick. But I'm not going to go to the over. I'm going to go Seattle. I'm going to go Seattle plus 4.5. I can't believe you know what? Geno Smith, believe it or not, looked better last week than I thought he would.
It's because he was a Jet.
Yeah,
all right. It's starting to make sense.
He was a former Jet. Yes. That's why I picked Sam Darnold this week. Carolina -3. Not I picked. You're the one who picked Carolina -3 as a. Yeah. No, you didn't. No, you went the over. You switched.
I went the over. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Seattle, it's a tough place to play. I know no Russell, but I don't trust New Orleans, especially on the road. I just don't trust them. 4.5. It's not a full touchdown. I think New Orleans could easily win the game, but I don't think they're going to win by a touchdown. I think Seattle actually is live in this game, is a live home dog, and I think they could win the game outright. And even if they lose the game, I don't see them losing by a touchdown or more. So give me Seattle plus the 4.5. We'll change our pick. Seattle plus the
4.5. All right.
We'll get this in here. So you're going to go under. You're going to go over the 43.5.
Over the 43.5. Yes.
All right. So we'll run these down real quick for you guys, and then we'll get to our best bets here. Not an easy slate here. So
no.
Very tough slate, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So,
if you get 500 or better.
Yeah. Greg's picks this week are. Cleveland, Denver under 41.5. Green Bay -9.5 at home against the football team. Kansas City -5.5 at Tennessee. Atlanta -2.5 on the road at Miami. New England -7. against the Jets at home. Carolina Giants over 43.5 at the Giants. Baltimore minus 6.5 at home against Cincinnati. Vegas Philly game over 49 over the total. LA Rams at home minus 15.5 over Detroit. Arizona beating up Houston minus 17. Tampa Bay minus 12.5 at home over Chicago. San Francisco minus 4 at home over Indy. And then Seattle, New Orleans over 43.5. My picks. I've got Cleveland as well, Cleveland, Denver as well, under 41.5. I've got the over on the Green Bay, Washington football team game at 49.5. I've got the over on the Tennessee, Kansas City game, 57.5. Miami plus 2.5 at home against Atlanta. New England minus 7 at home against the Jets. Carolina Giants under 43.5. Baltimore minus 6.5 at home against Cincinnati. Vegas minus 3 at home against Philly. Under 50.5 on the Rams Detroit game. Arizona minus 17 at home against Houston. Tampa Bay minus 12.5 at home against Chicago. The over the 44 on the San Francisco Indianapolis game. And then Seattle plus 4.5 at home against New Orleans. I think last week you started game day, so let me start this week for our best bets. We'll alternate here. So first best bet, I am going to go with.
There's not even a best bet on this.
There's not one on this whole board, is there?
Nope.
I'm going to go with the one. I'm going to go with New England minus a 7 at home against the Jets.
Okay. New England minus 7.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I feel like I'm throwing darts at a dartboard right now. I'm going to go. My gosh. Folks, I can't even pick one best bet. This is why you guys should comment down below. What is your best bet of the week? Maybe we'll roll with that. But yeah, my first bet is going to be Ravens minus 6.5 against the Bengals.
Baltimore minus 6.5. Okay. Interesting. All right, I'm going to go with the Tennessee Kansas City over 57.5.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go. Now we are blindfolded throwing the darts at the dartboard. Just give you where I'm at mentally. I'm going to go Rams minus 15.5 against the Lions is my best bet. And I'm saying that eyes wide open.
All right.
Here at midnight in Central Time.
Almost midnight Central Time. Oh, gosh. I've got two actually kind of wrestling with here.
That's shocking. I was wrestling.
I'm going Arizona. I'm going Arizona.
Okay.
Wait, one second.
My
second, Arizona. Did that one. Yeah, I was torn between Arizona and the Raiders, but I just don't trust the Raiders as much. Give me Arizona minus 17.
Okay. And to round out our best bets that we're so confident on, I'm going to go. Whew, man. I'm going to go Bucks minus 12.5 against the Bears.
I thought about
that. And I just couldn't pick a game where I flip-flopped as one of my best bets because that would not look good. So yeah, give me the Bucks minus 12.5 against the Bears.
All right, now we're going to do our player props, of course, this week.
Yes, and player props are difficult to find on a
Wednesday.
Yes, it's on a Wednesday. What site are we using for the player props, sir?
FanDuel, DraftKings has them up. DraftKings has them up, actually, believe it or not. So I'll say DraftKings.
All right. I'll start actually.
Go for it.
I found one right off the bat. You type in DraftKings player props into Google, and you click on the website. First thing that came up that I actually kind of like is never mind. Second guessing myself. I was thinking Mike Davis over 45.5 rushing yards against the Dolphins, but I don't like that anymore. I'm gonna go with. Oh man, you see the Derrick Henry over under?
No, what is it?
26.5. But I'm actually going to go with a different one here. I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes over 19.5 rushing yards against Titans. I think Mahomes could scramble for a couple first downs. When it comes to third down, I can see him going over 20. So yeah, give me over 19.5 rushing yards. Patrick Mahomes.
Rush. Okay. I am going to go with the Jets game here. I'm going to go with Damian Harris over 64.5 rushing yards. We tried Damian Harris last one time for this prop over. I think it was 40 rushing yards, and he had -3. So hopefully he'll fare better this time, folks. But
can't do much worse.
Yes, over 60. He did have an impressive week last week for you folks watching against who watched the Cowboys game, the Pats Cowboys game. So give me that one. That's my first one.
Okay. I am going to go Kyle Pitts over 49.5 receiving yards against the Miami Dolphins. He is at least the number 2 weapon there, and I could see the Falcons throwing all over the Dolphins. So give me Pitts over 49.5.
49.5. Okay.
Yep.
Receiving yards. I thought you said 43.5. Okay. All right, I'm going to go with, one second, just looking at the game here. All right, I'm going to go with Darrell Henderson over 79.5 rushing yards.
Okay, you hit his player prop last week, I believe.
I believe so. That's correct. Yes, I did. I did on the amount of rushing attempts, which was rather interesting. But yes, we'll go Darrell Henderson over 79.5 rush yards.
A win's a win.
Yes, it is. A win. And your final one?
My final one is going to be over 63.5 Deebo Samuel receiving yards against the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes.
So Deebo Samuel over 63.5.
Always with Deebo. You can always trust on a Deebo prop from game day over there.
I was on him early in the year. I gave you guys that player prop before the year started, the over 850.5. When healthy, especially if Jimmy Garoppolo is playing, that's his number 1 receiver. And I'll take that all day.
Yeah, some of these games do not have player props right now. So
majority of them do not.
Yes. It's with the interesting. Let's see this one. Sorry, folks. Just trying to.
Oh, folks,
we're
at that point of the night where we are struggling to keep our eyes open. But
yes.
Once again, we do it for you. We'd love to hear what you guys have to think. What have to say this week? Is this week a dud in terms of betting these games? Do you see some value somewhere where we don't? Which could very well be. We're both pretty tired, had long days, long weeks so far. But yeah, let us know, folks. We'd love to hear from you. As always, thank you guys so much for listening, for watching. You got more content than just football. You got some geography lessons, impersonations, Collinsworth slide. You got it all. So yeah, Ben, let's hear that last player prop.
Yeah, last play is going to be Teddy Bridgewater over 228.5 passing yards in tomorrow's game.
There it is, folks. There it is.
What was your third one? You had Mahomes, Pitts, and what was it? Oh, it was Debo. What was it?
Debo over 63.5. Over 63.5. So mark that down as 1 and 2 for me in player props, and probably 2 and 1 for Ben in player props. That seems to be the trend with the player props. But all right, folks.
Let's wrap it up. Let's just give them the last ones here. So our best bets here for Greg: Baltimore -6.5, LA over Cincinnati, LA Rams against -15.5 against Detroit, Buccaneers or Tampa Bay at home -12.5 against the Chicago Bears. His player props: Kyle Pitts over 49.5 receiving yards. Pat Mahomes over 19.5 rushing yards. Deebo Samuel over 63.5 receiving yards. And then for me, I'm going to go with New England -7 for my best bet. First best bet. Second best bet, Tennessee, Kansas City over 57.5 on the game total. And then Arizona -17 at home against Houston. Player props here: Damian Harris over 64.5 rushing yards. Darrell Henderson over 79.5 rushing yards. Teddy Bridgewater over 228.5 passing yards.
Awesome. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. Show number 10. We're in double digits. That is our NFL show for you guys. So again, if you like what you're seeing, if you can get through all this and put a little smile on your face, that's why we do it. And give you some betting tips and insights along the way. But I'm Game Day Greg alongside Benny Buckets. We will see you next week and have a great weekend.
Yes, take care.
Bye, folks.